I almost made it around here before it come on. As you can see, I'm going to be, this is the chair that I was telling you all about last night. And I've already got it painted, which wasn't too long ago. I just couldn't find a stopping point earlier today. But it's dry enough that I can go ahead and apply the gel stain. And let me see if I can bring this up. And I'll let it have time to catch up. And so, there we go. And y'all, this is only one coat. Now the seat, I did do 2 coats. Let me see if I can bring that up. There we go. All right, and this is the color. Isn't that pretty? It's, Marilyn created this for Andy because blue is his favorite color. And it's called Andy's Dream. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty color. And y'all, I have his link on my page. Y'all need to hop over and say hi to Andy. And I'm hoping that I will get to meet him next week. I'm really excited about that. And so I was anxious to try his color out that Marilyn had created for him. And this is just one coat. Because actually, now in the seat it is 2. But everything else is just one. It covered so good. And I was originally going to use Miss Lillian's Gel Stain Tobacco because that's one of my favorite colors and I use it on everything. And I thought, I'm going to change it up a little bit. And so I am using her Cottage White Gel Stain. And the lighting in here is different. I changed the bulbs. But it is a pure white and I love it. It's very pretty on graphite as well. So, and whenever I'm applying the gel stains, I only use a chip brush. And I remove it and manipulate it with gauze. I sell the gauze in rolls like this. And what I do is I take one off at a time. And I'll fold it just like that. And then I can manipulate it. And this doesn't seem to take off as much as a cotton rag, like a t-shirt or something. And so I can just manipulate it the way that I want. And then whenever this side gets full, I can turn it and use this. And then I can flip it and use the inside on this side. So I'm getting a lot of use out of just the one square. And whenever I'm through, I have a bucket, and I put a Walmart bag inside the bucket with water. And whenever I'm through, I just chunk it all in there, and come garbage day, I take it and put it in the garbage. A small project like this, you wouldn't have to worry, but say you're doing like a kitchen, you do not want to leave your rags in a pile or your brushes because it can be combustible. So you don't want to take that chance. It's just a precaution that I do all of mine, no matter how large or how small the project, that's what I do. So anyway, and I have to be really careful because I'm very sloppy with this and I am up in my craft room. So I don't want to sling, and this stuff will, if you're not careful. So whenever, be sure and protect your areas around you whenever you're working on something like this. And so, as you can see, I've already got it applied over here, and it looks like a streak there, but that's the lighting, the way it's putting a highlight on the chair. But I really do like that look. I'm going to end up wishing I had done this downstairs because of the lighting. But I'll take a really good picture whenever I'm done so that y'all can see. And I'm leaving more of the Cottage White Gel Stain in the recessed areas because that's what I want. And you always want to make sure you stir this up really well before you use it. And it really doesn't take a lot. And instead of brushing here, I'm just going to dab because, like I said, this will really fly if I don't. And I will finish the underside of the chair tomorrow. I'm funny. I don't like to leave the underside, and like the backs of my furniture, I'll always paint those as well. So, and I'm just going to wipe that off so that it doesn't leave a streak for tomorrow whenever I go up underneath there and do that. And I will put on a pretty good amount of the gel stain because it gives me something to work with, and I can always, that's the only time I really teach that, that I use more. Most of the time it's always less is more. But with this I will use a little more product than what I normally will. But it's because of the way that I like to manipulate it and for the look that I'm going for. That is so hard not to sling that stuff everywhere. And I know I'm weird because I really do like the smell of it too. Most people don't, but I just love it. And y'all, the chair has not been that long since I painted the chair earlier, a while ago. So as I'm pulling some of the glaze off, a little bit of the tint of the blue is coming up, but that's just because it's not completely dry. But I did not want to miss the opportunity to do this tonight, since I had said that I would come on and show y'all doing Andy's chair. You know what? Let me turn that down just a little bit so that y'all can see. I've kind of had to move it back. There we go. And then whenever, if I get to do the seat tonight, I'll move it up where y'all can see that. But you know, I have used gel stains I really love them. You can get such a dramatic look with using the gel stains. And it's funny, whenever in my classes, a lot of times my students are kind of afraid of it, and I tell them if you ever use it, you're going to absolutely fall in love with it. And 9 times out of 10, once they use it, that's what they buy, and they just love it. And what I do, like I said, is I just keep my gauze like that in a flat, and then I'll start pushing it where I want it, but I want it to stay in here. And then I'll remove some whenever I first start wiping it back, and then I'll go ahead and turn this. Now, if I'm doing a large piece of furniture, like a china cabinet, I will tape off my areas because you don't want overflow like what you have right here. If you can see that right here, like you don't want to leave that on this and let it dry and then come back, because that may leave a spot that you might not like once you go ahead and put your gel stain on it. So like if I'm doing up at the top, I'll put tape underneath, and I will do the trim piece first, manipulate that, and then I'll pull the tape, let it dry, but then I'll go on down and do something else. And let me see if I can turn this. See, and I'm going to pull quite a bit off. But then whenever I get, and wear gloves, I hate wearing gloves, but this is one time. And then you see how I'm going to push that, because I want more out here. So I'm just going to kind of push that into the areas that I want it to give a little bit more depth. I guess you could say even residue, you know. And then here I want a little more off. So as I'm looking at it, I'm going back in and pulling some of that off. Like right there. And then right in through here, I want more left. I'm going to go ahead and clean that edge up. And then see, I really want some of that blue showing through so you can see where I'm taking off a little more. I really hate that that is putting, it's the light that's making that right there. But it's really easy to work with. It's very forgiving. And then right here, I missed a spot, so I can just go back in and add. And all of, everything else of Merit, like her glaze, they are all water-based. But I am just thrilled that she has the gel stains for us to work with because they are so pretty. I really like how that is turning out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this here. And you know, even though I say I use more than what I normally do, I'm really not, hey y'all, how are y'all doing? Elaine, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Hey Ellen, how are you? And Elaine, gosh Elaine, I haven't seen you in so long. You know, I knew a lady with, she almost spelt her name just like you, A-L-L-Y-N-E, but she had I-E at the end. Aileen is what how we pronounced it. I thought that was so pretty. I hope that that's right. I think that's a very pretty name. You don't hear that very often. She was our neighbor whenever we lived out in the country. Her and my mom worked together. And now whenever I am coming back in to this part over here, I've already done this one, so I really don't want to get a whole lot of product on this piece again. But it's okay if you do, because it will, but I'm just more careful. Lord, I can just see specks everywhere. But you can see how I'm just wiping that right off. There's no real issue. And see, on this spindle back here, I had missed it earlier, but it's okay. So I can just add while I'm here. And of course, if you drag your sleeve in it, you know, that's always really a nice thing, which I do quite often. I guess that's why everything I own has paint on it. Okay, and let me turn that to where I can get that all the way around. Hey, Mona. Aileen. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Aileen. Hers was Eileen. Mona, we sure did miss you at the sewing deal, but we're going to do some more, and I think we're going to do it at the center. We're going to make some baby pillowcases this time, and some baby blankets. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed doing that. And see, you don't have to, oh, I've got to plug my phone in, y'all. We're just about to go dead. Sorry about that. I didn't even think I had used my phone that much today, but I guess I did. Okay. I would have just been standing there talking to myself, and there wouldn't have been anybody there. And again, with this, I always wear gloves. I hate wearing gloves, but and that's why my hands always look so bad. But anytime you're using an oil-based product, you always want to wear gloves. Elaine, was it you that was asking me if I could do the angel wings? There was someone that asked me because they were behind me in one of my lives, and I cannot remember who it was that asked me that, and I had told them that I would. And then that way, whenever I do, I can tag them. Okay, and as you can see, I've got quite a bit on there. Yes, it was you. Good. I'm glad I asked that. So whenever I do that, I'll be sure and tag you. Or I will message you and let you know when I'm going to be doing that. Actually, I am going to start trying to... It's just really hard for me to know when I can go live. That's the whole thing. Because I was going to start creating events so that everyone would know. But sometimes you just never know what life is going to throw at you during the day, and then you're like, oops. But see how easy that is? And it gives such a nice look. That's really very soft. And another thing is, and I will try to remember, oh, I've got white spatter. I can already see it on my thing over there. Is if you are going to, if say you're doing a tabletop and you have used gel stains on the top, Miss Lillian's gel stain, you need to wait at least 3 to 4 days and let it dry really good, and then you can use one of her Lackluster top coats, which is water-based. Yes, you can. But you just want to make sure that you wait that time length for it to really be dry. And you know, that's something that people don't really understand. They think that paint, if it's dry, that it's okay, but it's not, because paint, it takes 30 days for it to cure. And if you say if you're doing a piece, okay, and you've put on, say you've had to use a swamp mud or a primer, whatever you're using, and then you're painting, and you're going to do 2 coats, and then you're going to let that dry, and then say you're going to put a glaze on it, and then you're going to let that dry, and then you're going to put top coat on it. That's a lot of layers. And, you know, some people, and that's why whenever I finish a piece and I have it up for sale, I'll put on there, you know, if you purchase, you know, please don't set anything on me for at least 30 days. Because you've got to have that cure time. See, I missed a spot down there, but that's okay. You can always go back and add in right there. It's very, very forgiving. And see, I've missed right there. And what I'll do is I will turn this upside down before I do the seat, and that's why. That way I can see if I have missed anything. And you can see that has not taken long at all to do this chair. So I've done this chair in 1 day. Now I will probably put a top coat in the seat. So that's probably, you know, I'm going to wait 3 or 4 days. But, you know, that won't take, you know, 2 minutes to put a top coat on that. And I will probably put one where the feet go. I don't figure a child will be putting their feet there, but you never know. So, And normally what I would have done is just taken some gauze that already had been saturated and rubbed over that spot, and not even had to use my brush to apply, to add any more. Okay, I need to, because I added a little bit too much there, but see how forgiving that is? That was already added there, and some had got over onto that and it come right off. Didn't give me any issues whatsoever. So, and I did put some underneath there a while ago, but see, it is still, you know, if that had been glazed, it might have already been dried, but because this is a gel stain, then I have enough time to manipulate it. You don't have to be in a big hurry. And let's see, a couple of spots down there. But you can see how fast this goes. And I'm just a big fan of the gel stains. I really am. And I've used just about every color. And if any of y'all are, you need to check out Miss Lillian's Paint University on Facebook. There are a lot of 10-minute or less videos on a lot of her different products, and I believe they are in the process of adding them to the YouTube, Miss Lillian's YouTube. But there's some good info over there. Okay, I really like that. I'm really glad that I decided to do the Cottage White gel stain, y'all, is what I'm using. And again, I always teach, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. Okay, now I'm going to come around and I'm going to scoot that up where y'all can see the top of the chair. And I brought my stool so that I can stand up in the stool. Oh, y'all, that is so pretty. I can't wait to stage that. I hope that that's a good color, that y'all can see that. I won't be able to tell until I go to watch the video. Tell you what, before I do that, let me flip this over, because I want to make sure that I have everything underneath done. And normally I start my chairs from the bottom. I would normally have it turned upside down, but I wasn't going to be able to do that, and y'all be able to see what I was doing. So, and you know what? There's a little bit of the wood grain showing in the spindle here, but I like that, so I'm leaving it. I'm not going to fill it with the white. And well, I'm going to have to, I was going to say I was going to go ahead and do the underside, but I think I'm going to wait, because I'm going to have something that I can touch to turn it. And that's how I'm going to have to be able to do that. All right. Okay, I hope y'all can see that all right. Okay. And again, I'm really trying. It's taking me a little bit longer than normal because I really just don't want to sling this stuff all over. But I am just loving Andy's color. It's very pretty. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do the whole seat. And I am putting on quite a bit. Because see, it's spattering down here and I don't particularly want that. So I will easily pull that to the side. Hey Carolyn, how are you? That's Andy's mom, y'all. I just cannot believe that y'all have moved and you are close to where I live. I just think that is just so cool. Who would have ever thought? I wouldn't have. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add to the spindles right here, because once I get the seat manipulated the way that I want, and whenever I'm adding to the spindles, I don't want to touch that seat again. Even if I do, it will be okay because I can still manipulate it, but my luck, I would absolutely love a spot and then have to touch it up. So whenever you are using the gel stain, sometimes just kind of step back, look at your project, and see where you need to start and finish at. Okay. And you know, it doesn't really take very much of the gauze either. Okay. And then I'm just going to take and I'm going to, oh wow, that is so pretty. As you can see, I'm going to push all the way through the spindles. Okay, and then I'm going to come to the back side. And you can see how I don't think you can, but let me, whenever I get more of that off, see how I'm pushing that up into there because I want more in that residue in that area to make it look like it's supposed to be that way. See how that's doing? And then as I come out here, I'm going to leave a little more. And I will just pull off what I want to come off. And I'm putting some elbow grease into that. I'm not pushing really hard, but I am pushing enough because it's almost like I'm polishing the surface with the gel stain, if that makes sense. I guess that's the only way I know how to explain it. And I have enough of the residue of the gel stain to where I can come and see how I can just do the edge and not have to apply any with the brush. And then I'm just going to come to the back and pull that off. Oh, I'm really liking this. I'm glad that I changed my mind. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this so that I can get a clean spot. And just fold it just like that. Y'all, I'm not ignoring the comments. It's just I want to make sure I get this just the way I want it. And then I'm going to hold it up where y'all can see. Hopefully. Oh, that looks like the ocean, y'all. Oh God, I love it. that is really pretty. But I've kind of done a quick on gel stains. I've not really went into in-depth with Alive. So I kind of wanted to do that tonight. Hey Chastity, how are you? What is the white you are putting on? It is, Carolyn, that is Miss Lillian's Cottage White Gel Stain. And it is an oil-based product, but it is absolutely a dream to work with. So, and maybe that's one of the things that I can show Andy about. And I was going to use the tobacco. See, now I knew that was going to happen, because what's happening is I'm putting this on. It's putting speckles, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be more careful. But I'm still able to go back and manipulate where I've already been, so you don't have to worry. I'm just a gel stain freak, I guess. But I guess because cabinets is what I have done, and that's always what I've used, mostly was the gel stains. And then as you can see, I probably need to move my phone again. But like, I'm pulling a lot of the gel stain off right here, but then I'm pushing it up and I'm leaving more at the top and at the bottom. Very pretty. I need a clean one to catch the residue off of. There we go. Perfect. It's very forgiving. And you know what I like about two over here? Oh, I thought I might have enough on there, but I don't. I almost thought I had enough on my gauze to finish those spindles. But y'all, this chair, of course, with me talking, I'm slower. But putting this on has what, been maybe 30 minutes? That's pretty good, you know? Doesn't take long at all. And I don't know about y'all, but painting is a good therapy, I think. Kind of forget about what's going on in the world and think about nothing. Think about pretty paint. Y'all, that looks like the ocean. I mean, that is really pretty. That cottage white on Andy's Dream is really, really pretty. Okay, I'm going to come around and I'm going to raise my phone where y'all can see the top while I do it. Of course it wants to be cantankerous at all times. All right, I'm going to have to, y'all bear with me. I've got to unscrew this to, there we go. We will wobble. Good grief, and I'm getting hot. That's unusual for me. Okay. So all we like is this right here and the underneath. But I'm going to do the underneath tomorrow. I'm not going to, because I don't want to mess up that. And underneath here, I'm not going to use my brush. I'm going to use the leftover residue on my gauze to fill that in. It'll be plenty. And the reason I'm going really slow is because I don't want spatter on my seat, because I have my seat the way I like it. And I don't want to mess it up. And let's see, I think how is everybody doing tonight? I can't see. I've got my iPad down here, but I can't see it good enough to see who all is on right now. And I am just gonna take and finish this off here. And whenever I do, I'll be able to pick it up from underneath. Oh, and you know what? Them specs made me think there was a technique that we used to do in faux finishing where you would, it sounds gross, but people liked it, okay? You would take a toothbrush and you would put a dark stain on it, and you would take and you would run your finger through it. Of course, we had a tool we used back then, and it would put, we called it fly specks. And actually, people really liked that back then. That's really weird. Well, it wasn't that far back, but, or I'm going to say it wasn't that far back. All right, y'all, I am very, very happy with this. I think it really is pretty, and I'm so thrilled that I went with Miss Lynn's White Cottage. It's a gel stain. Let me move my stool. And let's see, I just need to go up underneath. I don't want to miss any spots. And I think I am going to have to touch a couple of spots. And of course, wouldn't you know, the light is right shining where I can't see. Isn't that always the way it is? Okay, I get that wiped off and we will be done. Very pretty. And let's see. And again, it just depends on the look that you want, how much you take off and how much you leave on. There is Sandra. How are you doing? Sandy, she was one that did not want to try the gel stains. And whenever she did, now that's all she absolutely loves them, and she has mastered the technique. Absolutely great. She's done some very pretty pieces with it. All right, y'all, that, I believe, we are finished. Other than underneath, and I'm not going to do that until tomorrow because I don't want to mess this up here. And let me see. Now it's not showing Sandy. Oh, and there's Sarah. Sarah! Okay, golly, y'all, I'm hot. Fine. Oh, your internet is staying in. Sandy has a horrible time with her internet, and she usually has to watch me on replay. Kind of gave me a complex for a while, you know. Okay, I may be making a mistake, but I'm going to try and do this. let me, okay, so that y'all can see the close-up. I really like how this leaves in the crevices of the chair. Isn't that pretty? I really do like that. The lighting, though, is not in my favor. I can tell you that. So, oh, you couldn't get anybody out yesterday because of the rain? That stinks. Oh, it was horrible. I was driving in from up at Sarah's place, and it was just really, really bad. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Dudley. I do. That means a lot. I'm telling you. I appreciate it very much. And Aileen, we are going to do those. She wants me to do the angel wings. I had done a piece, I believe it was up at Midtown where I was doing the live. And she spotted the angel wings behind me on an art piece that I had done, and she asked if I could do them. In fact, Chastity, she purchased some angel wings from me. So yes, I'll do that for y'all, and we'll be using Miss Lillian's Texture Magic for that project. And it's a powder, and you mix paint with it, and it's a very cool product and a neat technique. So that will probably be next week, though, because I am lined up. I'm behind. But anyway, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this tonight, and I really do appreciate y'all stopping in. And be sure and go and like Andy's page. And look at all the chairs that he's done. And I'm hoping that Andy and I get to do a live together. And Sandy and I can give him some tidbits of where to go and find him some chairs. So, let's see. Is anyone getting video? Oh, yours is freezing. I'm sorry. Sandy has that issue whenever I'm on sometimes. I don't know why. But anyway, I wish my battery says it's low again. But as y'all, I wanted to lift that up just a little bit due to the lighting so that y'all could see what a beautiful effect that White Cottage has done on Andy's Dream on his color. So, see two good ones that have, oh, you did? Oh, well, we'll have to get him over there. Well, listen, y'all, I'm going to have to get off. I had to unplug my phone, and it is at 10%, and I don't want to fly off of here and not be able to say bye. I have a fetish about that. So, I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a very blessed evening, and I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all. Well, evidently it's not wanting me to leave. So, because I'm pushing finish, and it's not wanting to finish. So, all right, y'all. Bye, y'all.